Welcome everyone into beautiful Dutchman Field at Keenholz Park for another PGCBL matchup between the Albany Dutchmen and the Glens Falls Dragons on this Friday night in Albany. As we get ready for some Dutchman baseball, we would like to review what happened last night when the Dutchmen faced off against the Boonville Baseball Club, and they split the doubleheader, losing the first game 5-2 and winning the second game 7-0.
And now, Dutchman fans, we ask that you.
So as we get ready for first pitch, let's go through the lineups for the Dragons tonight. Leading off, number 2, the left fielder Phil Crapata. Batting second, number 10, the second baseman Mario Cubello. Batting third, number 7, DH Reese DeCastro. And cleaning up, the right fielder, number 13, Sam Browning. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 34, Corey Listing. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 22, Sale Pelosa. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 26, Will Manette. And batting eighth, the extra hitter, number 33, Aiden Stevens. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 14, Kyle Zaslaw. And batting 10th and rounding it out, the shortstop, number 17, Anthony Ruzza. And who's pitching for the Dragons today is number 12, the lefty, Will Kindle. And we will have for the Dutchmen starting this game today is number 27, JT Larson.
And now that we ask that you please direct your attention to the first base dugout and Damon, who has tonight's set piece.
So JT Larson is also a lefty from St. Augustine, Florida. See, he is going to University of North Florida going into his senior year. As we get ready for first pitch, let's go through the defense for the Dutchmen. Starting off with the left fielder, Alex Brill, number 16. In center, number 15, Zach Arani. Out in right, number 1, Caden Shapiro. We'll go third to first, number 4, Danny Rogers at third. Number 13, Tyler Young at shortstop. David Silva Jr., number 2 at second base. We got Anthony Ramo Jr., number 8 at first. And catching JT Larson, number 6, Max Gebauer. And then on the mound, JT Larson. And now leading off for the Glens Falls Dragons is Phil Crapata. If you're just tuning in, first pitch about to be thrown by JT Larson. And the first pitch is a strike. So that is a 6:42 start time. And the 0-1 is outside, and it'll be 1-1. Shout out to Jason Polatsky for the start time. Thank you, Jason. as the 1-1 to Carrata is down in the dirt, and it will be 2-1. So that one is swung on and missed, and it will be 2-2 on Carrata. And the 2-2 is swung on, and Anthony Ramo Jr. can't make the play as Carrata will reach safely. He is playing first base for the first time this season, and unable to make that play there. So getting used to playing a different position than he normally is at in the outfield. And now we will have the second baseman Mario Cubello from St. John Fisher College come up to bat. And the 0-0 is thrown over to first, just checking on Carrata. And we'll see the first pitch to Cubello. And Larson does it again, and they have Carrata in a rundown. Carrata running back, and JT Larson will tag him out. And what a pickoff move by the southpaw out of the University of North Florida. They're getting the first out of the ball game. Larson made up for Ramo Jr.'s wasn't an error, but it was a misplace at first base. So 1 out here in the top of the first, as that one is taken high by Cubello, and it'll be 1-0. Some information about JT Larson, his stats on the season. He's got 9 innings pitched, allowing 2 hits. He's at a 1 ERA, as that one is taken high, and it'll be 2-0. JT Larson has had some great games. One as that one is fouled back, and it'll be 2-1. JT Larson pitched against the Watertown Rapids a couple weeks ago, and he threw a gem. He almost threw a no-hitter in a doubleheader, the second game against the Watertown Rapids. So he's looking to repeat that performance tonight, as he's at a 3-run count, as that one is taken in for a strike, and it will be a full count on Cubello. So if you're just tuning in, JT Larson getting out Carrata in a rundown, and 1 out here as the 3-2 is swung on to left field, and that one can't be hauled in by Alex Brill, as Cubello will go to second, and he will make it in with the stand-up double, as Brill on that play was diving out, and he was unable to make it as it went all the way to the warning track. So a 1-out stand-up double for the Dragons, and we will have the designated hitter Reese DeCastro out of Tennessee Tech come up to bat. So Reese DeCastro against JT Larson. That one is going all the way to the backstop, and Cubello will make it over to third. So some early trouble here for Larson, as giving up a 1-out double, and then on that pass ball, having him over to third. Now only a sac fly can get the first run of the game home for the Dragons. So it'll be 1-0 on Reese DeCastro, the designated hitter. And the pitch is in there for a strike, and it'll be 1-1. So Reese DeCastro up with Mario Cubello after getting a 1-out double, as that one is slapped to Danny Rogers. He goes home, and he gets the force at home. not letting that double or not letting that runner get home, and it will be 2 outs for the Dragons as Reese DeCastro makes it on base with a fielder's choice. So the right fielder from Johns Hopkins, Sam Browning, will step up to the plate. 2 outs in the inning, 2 hits for the Dragons, but no runs to show for it so far. JT Larson has worked himself out of the jam, and he might work himself out of this inning as that one is flied out to Rainey, and he makes the catch. And JT Larson gives up 2 hits, but he gets out of it with some stellar defense and some heads-up defense from the Dutchmen. We will head to the bottom of the first with the Dutchmen coming up to bat. Don't go anywhere. The Bone and Joint Center in Albany is your single source for comprehensive care by some of the region's most highly regarded board-certified medical specialists. If you have an orthopedic problem and need the care of an orthopedic expert, call 518-489-2666 or visit their website at theboneandjointcenter.com. As we get ready for the bottom of the first, as the Dragons weren't able to take advantage of a 1-out double. And now Tyler Young, the shortstop from Lehigh, comes up to bat. As that one is taken outside, and it will be 1-0 on the leadoff hitter. Tyler Young swings and misses, and it will be 1-1. As we pull up Tyler Young's stats here, 1-1. That one is chopped to the shortstop Ruzzo, and he will get him at first, as I wasn't able to see the umpire there. And it will be 1 out for the Dutchmen with Nick Schwartz out of Southern New Hampshire University coming up. So we'll save Tyler Young's stats for when he comes up next. So now we got Nick Schwartz, the extra hitter for the Dutchmen today. And it's interesting how he always taps the umpire and the catcher on the ankle with his bat. We've seen that in past years, and we've seen that this year, and it's an interesting walk-up tradition for him, a regimen. As the 1-0 to Schwartz is taken high, and it will be 2-0. So the 2-0 to Schwartz, facing Will Kindle, number 27, as that one is laced to left field. And Schwartz gets a 1-out single. Now we will have David Silva Jr. from Ohio Dominican come up to bat.
Batting third, the second baseman from Ohio Dominican.
Now Silva Jr. following a 1-out single by Schwartz as that one is tapped to like bunted, I believe, as Silva gets on and Schwartz goes to second. That was a little dribbler up the third baseline. It wasn't even up the third baseline. It was like 2 feet in front of the catcher as a infield hit for David Silva with Matt Bergevin coming back in the lineup after missing last night's game, the DH from Fairfield University. So 1 out for the Dutchmen. Runners on second and first, following 2 back-to-back hits as they double steal. As that one is thrown in the outfield by the catcher Manette, and Schwartz will score, and it is a quick 1-0 lead for the Albany Dutchmen as David Silva Jr. goes to third. So the quick aggression from this Albany Dutchman team. We've seen that all season with double stealing and being aggressive on the base paths. As the 0-1 to Bergevin will be fouled back and we'll be at 0-2. This is a great time to do the lineups for the Dutchmen. Tyler Young, the shortstop, batting first. We got Nick Schwartz, the extra hitter. David Silva Jr. at second. Matt Bergevin up. He's batting cleanup. Anthony Ramo Jr. fifth. We'll go over it after this pitch as that one is swung on and missed, and Bergevin will strike out. Now we have Anthony Ramo Jr. coming up, the first baseman out of the University of Rhode Island. Not his normal position for Ramo Jr., as he is usually an outfielder, but we've seen that with both Shapiro and now Ramo Jr. getting some first base reps, as that one is taken in for a strike, and it will be 0-1. So following this pitch, we'll go through the rest of the lineup following Ramo Jr.'s swing and a miss, and it'll be 0-2. So following Anthony Ramo Jr. batting sixth, Danny Rogers from Rutgers, Caden Shapiro. Then we got Max Gebauer, Alex Brill, and then rounding out is Zach Rainey. Then we got Will Kindle on the mound. So the 0-2 to Ramo is fouled back, and the count will remain at 0-2. So if you're just tuning in, the Dutchmen got back-to-back 1-out hits. They did a double steal. Will Manette threw the ball to third, and it went into the outfield, and Nick Schwartz scored to get the first run for the Dutchmen, as that one is taken outside, and it will be 1-2 on Anthony Ramo Jr. Ramo Jr. was the player of the game in the second game of the doubleheader last night against Boonville, as that one is fouled back, and it will be 1-2. Ramo Jr. had the only hit for the Dutchman, as he launched one to right field for a 2-run home run. So Coach Davey said in his post-game interview he's looking to, have better at-bats, as it was 7 runs on only 1 hit. So a very interesting box score, but the Dutchmen will definitely take what they can get. As long as there's enough runs on the board, more runs than the opponent, that's all that matters. So it will be 1-2 to Anthony Ramo Jr. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Dutchman with 2 outs against number 12, Will Kindle, out of St. Thomas Aquinas. So the 1-2 from Kindle is getting ready, set, fires, as that one is launched to right field. Will that drop? It will, but it will be in the mitt of Sam Browning.
1 run on 2 hits. He's trying to runner.
We will go to the top of the second. Dutchmen leading this game 1-0 after 1.
The first person goes to Mr.
As Damon is doing his on-field personality for, or on-field promo, excuse me, for Paisan Pizza, we'll do an announcement. As family-owned and operated for over 20 years, Paisan Pizzas prides themselves in serving their customers with the finest food, quality, and service. Visit their nearest location just up the street in Göttingen on Western Ave, or any of their other locations in Albany, East Greenbush, or Rotterdam. Try their delicious, cheesy, and crispy cheese pizzas every night at Dutchman Concessions. A full 12-inch, 4-slice pizza to eat yourself or share with friends. Also, be sure to check on the line of frozen pizzas at your local Price Chopper, Market 32, Walmart, and many other retailers. Brooklyn's finest, Paisan's Pizza and Restaurant.
Yourself or share with friends.
As we get ready for the top of the second, Dutchman leading 1-0 after a Will Manette error that had Nick Schwartz score in the bottom of the first, and JT Larson deals, and that one has popped up out of play, and it will be 0-1. Look at some of the standings here after the pitch from JT Larson, as the 0-1 is outside, and it'll be 1-1. The standings for in the East will be Amsterdam Mohawks at 15-3, Albany at 12-6. They are 3 games back, as that one has popped up over to Silva Jr. He makes the catch, and it will be 1 out for the Dragons. And the first baseman, Sal Pelosa,
First baseman from St. Ansel, number 22, Sal Pizzola.
from St. Anselm, will be the batter. I apologize for that. I was not on air for what I was saying. So we are at 2-2, 1 out for the Dragons. Will Manette, the catcher, up at the plate, and it'll be 3-2. Sal Pelosa got a 1-out hit. That was back-to-back hits for the Glens Falls Dragons. And for everyone tuning in, I apologize again. My mic was not on. As that one is flied out to Brill. He goes over and he makes the catch out in foul territory. And it'll be 2 outs for the Dragons with Aiden Stevens, the extra hitter, coming up to bat. And the 0-0 is a strike, and it'll be 0-1. I apologize once again about the sound. My mic was not on, as that one is taken outside, and it'll be 1-1. So hopefully, only my mistake will be the only mistake of tonight, as the 1-1 is taken high, and it will be 2-1. So if you guys are just tuning in, 1-0 Dutchman. Sal Pelosa got a 1-out base hit, back-to-back 1-out hits for the Dragons from the first 2 innings, as that one is swung on and missed, and it'll be 2-2. As the charge chant goes here, and Larson deals, and that one is fouled back, and it'll be 2-2. So not the same output for Larson here, as he almost got a no-hitter, only giving up 1 hit in the game, but he is still dealing so far with not allowing a run and getting out of trouble. As that one is in there for a strike. A little late strike call there. And JT Larson gets out of the 1-out hit by Sal Pelosa. And we'll go to the bottom of the second. Dutchman leading 1-0. The Dutchman would like to take this time to thank M&T Bank, the official uniform sponsor of the Dutchman. M&T Bank, understanding what's important. As we get ready for the bottom of the second inning, I would like to take time to look at the standings as well. I was mentioning them, and then I realized that I made the mistake that my mic wasn't on, so I apologize again for that. So we got Amsterdam at 15-3. Amsterdam at 15-3. Albany at 12-6. And we will have Danny Rogers come up to the plate, the third baseman out of Rutgers. So in third is Boonville, the opponent that the Dutchmen split last night. They are 6 games out. Mohawk Valley at 7-8. They're 6.5 games out. After this first pitch, I'll go through the rest of the East Division standings. Since that one is outside, it'll be 1-0. So Saugerties in 5th place, the defending champions, 7-9. They are 7 games out. Oneonta 8-10-1. They are also 7 games out. As that one is high over Danny Rogers' head, it'll be 2-0. Glens Falls, the opponent tonight, is 4-12. They are 10 games out. They've gotten some clutch wins for the other opponents in the division, as that one is swung on a missed for 2-1, as they beat Amsterdam a couple nights ago. A spoiler for everyone's surprise, as all these opponents were able to gain a game on the first place team. And rounding it out is the 3-15 Watertown Rapids. They were swept by the Dutchmen a couple weeks ago. So the 2-2 to Danny Rogers. Will Kindle on the mound. And the pitch is swung on and missed. And it will be 1 out for the Dutchmen. Now up to bat is Caden Shapiro out of Princeton. And following this pitch, we'll go through the defense of the Dragons. And the 0-0 is high, and it'll be 1-0. So the defense for the Dragons is Krapata out in left, Corey Listing in center, Sam Browning in right, Kyle Zaslaw at third, Anthony Rozzo at short, as that one is laced into left field. Got Mario Cabello, at second, Sal Pizzola at first, Will Manette at catcher, and Will Kindle on the mound. Following a 1-out opposite field base hit by Caden Shapiro, we have the catcher Max Gebauer up to bat. That one is taken outside, and it will be 1-0. As that one is taken high, and it will be a quick 2-0 count on Max Gebauer. So the 2-0 to Gebauer. That one is fouled back, and it'll be 2-1. So the stats on Gebauer, after coming to the team late, he is batting .400. He's started in 5 games. He has 6 hits, no home runs, 3 RBIs, and he also has 2 stolen bases. As a stolen base by Shapiro, and he gets him at second. So a quick 2 outs for the Dutchman, with Shapiro being thrown out at second. So it'll be 2-2 with 2 outs following the throw out of Shapiro trying to steal second. As Max Gebauer with the full count. So that one is a golf swing pop to left field Phil Krapata, and the Dutchmen go down quickly. As we will head to the third inning after 2, the Dutchmen are still leading 1-0. Don't go anywhere. We are back for a third inning action. Dutchmen leading 1-0 after getting a run on an error by Will Manette. And that is the only run of the game, as Dutchmen and the Dragons both have 3 hits. As Kyle Zaslaw will step up in the batter's box, number 14 out of Union College. We also apologize for the flipping of the screen here. We're still trying to figure out what that is a result of, as that one is laced to left field. Danny Rogers unable to make the play, as Alex Brill gets in that quickly to limit Zaslaw to a single. So a leadoff single for Kyle Zaslaw with Anthony Ruzzo, his teammate in Union College, coming up to bat, the shortstop for the Dragons. As JT Larson throws one outside, trying to keep the runner at first, and it will be 1-0. As we've seen a lot of these teams do, including the Dutchmen, being very aggressive on the base paths, as they are testing these catchers, abilities to throw these runners out. There's not been a lot of success with these catchers throwing these guys out, as that one is taken high, and it'll be 3-0. Seen a lot of errors from catchers that just demoralize a team with giving up runs that shouldn't be given up, as that one is a ball, and it will be a 4-pitch walk for JT Larson. So early runners on base for Larson, as he needs to get out of the jam with the top of the lineup coming up in Phil Crapata. Phil Crapata got on base in the first inning, but was thrown out in a rundown by a pickoff attempt by Larson, as that one is bunted to Ramo Jr. as he gets Crapata at first, moving up the runners into scoring position. So runners on second and third for the Dragons, as Mario Cabello, second baseman, comes up to bat. So JT Larson running into some trouble. He's been really good this season for the Dutchmen, only posting a 1 ERA, as his last start was a masterful performance, as that one is fouled back, only giving up 1 hit, 1 out closer. Excuse me. Only giving up 1 hit, as he was throwing a no-hitter going into the latter half of the 8th inning. As the 0-1 is fouled back, and it's quick 0-2 on Mario Cabello. The Dutchman this season against the Dragons has been pure dominance, as they have been able to mercy the Dragons in every single matchup. So if the Dragons want to rewrite that script, they can do it here, as that one is laced out in center field, and that one will drop, as the tying run will score, and Ruzzo will move up to third, and the Dragons tie it up at 1, as a bloop single by Mario Cabello gets the Dragons on the board. So Reese DeCastro out of Tennessee Tech coming up with runners on the corners following a Mario Cabello bloop single. Now with this Dragons team, as that one is taken in for the strike. Now this Dragons team, the record may not show for what they can do, but they can score some runs and they can spoil a lot of these top teams. As that one is thrown to second, and that one is thrown over David Silva Jr., and it will be an error on Max Gebauer. And the Dragons take a 2-1 lead here following that error. So 2 errors, 1 for each team, both on the catchers. As I was mentioning before, these runners like to test these catchers, and they are doing really good so far, being able to get runs on these costly errors. As that one is popped out to Shapiro out in right. Mario Cabello stays at second, and it'll be 2 outs for the Dragons. So we got Sam Browning. John Hopkins comes up to bat. JT Larson giving up 1 run in this inning. Even though it is 2-1, that run was unearned, as that one is an error. That one is a strike, and it'll be 0-1. That one was an error by Max Gebauer, scoring the second run for the Dragons. And the 0-1 is swung on and missed, and it is 0-2. So if you're just tuning in, 2-1 Dragons after scoring 2 runs, 1 on a bloop single and 1 on an error by Max Gebauer to take the early lead here in this 9-inning contest. And the 0-2 is swung on to Danny Rogers. He couldn't make that tough hop. I thought he caught it there, as that one went out into left field. Alex Brill threw a bullet to David Silva Jr. at second, trying to get Cabello out, and he was unable to. So runners on first and second for the Dragons, as Corey Listing from Coker University comes up to bat. That one is 1-0 on Listing. Following this pitch, we will get you the last 3 games for the Dragons. As the pitch is swung on and fouled down the third base side, and is 1-1. So last 3 games for the Dragons, they lost 6-5 versus Oneonta last night. And as I mentioned before, Wednesday, they won against Amsterdam 4-2, spoiling the top team. They lost to Albany 11-1, as that was another mercy rule for the Dutchmen. And they won 8-7 on Saturday against Boonville, the opponent that the Dutchmen faced last night. As that one is a ball, but is thrown to third base, and Cabello gets in there for a stolen base. So runners on the corners with 2 outs and a 2-2 count to Corey Listing. So the Dragons playing a little bit more competitive baseball now against these teams in the PGCBL East Division. As the pitch is swung on and missed, and JT Larson gets out of the jam, but not before 2 runs come to score for the Dragons, and they take an early 2-1 lead going into the bottom of the third. Don't go anywhere.